So with that, we have finally arrived at the 4th anniversary event here on our dream stage. This video, being an episode of Before You Summon, will of course focus on the event itself here on our dream stage, as well as the Bloom Festival Gacha and the event Gacha and the cards added with these two. If you instead want a more in-depth guide about the 4th anniversary celebrations, such as the Fortune Flower Parade, as well as the paid gachas and login campaigns being added, I would suggest you go check out my 4th anniversary ultimate guide. And this guide will of course be linked down in the description, where I go through everything you need to know about the 4th anniversary celebration outside of the event here on our dream stage. And before we get into the event guide proper, I have a tiny request to make. Creating guides for Project Sekai takes a ton of my time, and if you could consider subscribing and ringing the bell, that would help me immensely. Subscribing takes less than a second and actually helps a lot more than you think, and if you change your mind, you can always unsubscribe later. But with that, let's get into the event guide for the event here on our dream stage that will run from September 30th to October 9th. This is a mixed event in the pure attribute with NENE as the focus character. And the supporting cast this time around are SHIHO, AIRI, TOYA and NENE. And due to this being an anniversary event, there is only a single exchange shop card in the form of the 3-star card. Taking this slot is NENE with her card Restock Time. NENE is a scorer skill happy attribute card with the skill name each doing our part. And due to her happy attribute, she will see use in one future event. The event in question is a very recent event on the Japanese server, reaching out towards the untenable tomorrow that will run from the 22nd of August to the 28th of August. With Mizuki, NENE and Nightcore 25 Len in the gacha, NENE is of course lower gameplay value as she is available with a 70% bonus if you were to pull from this gacha. But obviously, despite NENE being our only exchange card, she is far from the only card being added with the event. With this being an anniversary event, we will have 2 gachas. Starting us off is of course the 4th anniversary Bloom Festival that will be available between September 30th and October 4th. This Bloom Festival will be a Dream Pick gacha, with 2 slots available this time around. But if you want more information about the Dream Pick aspect of this gacha, I would suggest checking out my 4th anniversary ultimate guide, still linked down in the description. However, this will be the first Bloom Festival where the Bloom Festival cards work slightly differently than we've seen in previous versions of the Colorful Festival and Bloom Festival gacha. This due to changes being made with the 4.0 patch that went live on September 26th on the English server. The Bloom Festival itself will work as usual, meaning a 6% chance for a 4-star, no pity bar, and using the pink stickers and vouchers. However, the Bloom Festival cards themselves are now considered focus cards for the event, meaning that no matter which character or attribute combination it is, they will be granting the 70% event bonus like the other event cards. So, despite neither Rui or Rin being focus characters for this event, they will be able to grant the 70% event bonus as they are considered focus cards for the 4th anniversary event. And this will be the standard going forward for all Bloom Festival cards, as they will be considered a focus card for the event despite not always matching the event attribute or even character. And this increases the value of Bloom Festival cards immensely from their previous Colorful Festival counterparts. But with that being said, not only are the Bloom Festival cards considered focus cards for the event, bringing a 70% event bonus to event team building, they are of course also considered limited cards, meaning they come with a hairstyle. Like all Bloom Festival cards, they will also come with the special Bloom Festival skills, with 2 different skills depending on if you're using the untrained or the trained version of the card. And the Bloom Festival cards are a mix of different attributes, not needing to follow the event attribute itself. So let's get into our first Bloom Festival character, being Rui and his card, Admiring My Treasure.
素敵な宝物を見つけたんだね。
Rui is a cute attribute Bloom skilled card, with his untrained skill being called because of that time. And I will note this now that original characters and virtual singers have different skills when they are untrained Bloom Festival cards. However, the trained skill is the same across all Bloom Festival cards, meaning I will only read it for Rui to make this video shorter. But the original character's untrained skill reads as follows. Gain a 60% score bonus for 5 seconds. Additionally, a random card in your team is selected and grants the Bloom Festival cards an additional score boost by half of the randomly selected card's skill's score boost up to 120 in total. The Bloom Festival skills are always quite the mouthful. However, Rui's trained skill is called Reflecting Upon One's Path and Miracles. And a trained Bloom Festival card skill will grant a 90% score bonus for 5 seconds, and gain an additional 1% score boost for every 2 ranks of character rank that you have for the Bloom Festival card character's character rank, up to 140 maximum. Finally, Rui's new costume is called Speculative Coat. And due to his cute attribute, Rui has no future usability. However, he does have 2.5 upcoming new limited cards. The first event Rui will get a brand new limited card in is Deeper and Deeper, that will run from July 7th to July 13th. This is then followed by the event Deep Dark for Light, that will run from August 30th to September 4th. And of course, the half-limited card Rui will be getting is his second World Link card, tied to the event Dear My Fellows, that will run from the 9th of May to the 13th of May. And as for rerunning gachas, Rui only has 1.5 upcoming ones. As always, remember that the second rerun of any given limited gacha is the final rerun before the gacha is discontinued and the cards join the Recollection Festival gacha pool. For more information about the Recollection Festival, check out my general guide linked down in the description. But the only standard limited rerun Rui will see is the second and final rerun of the City of Spirits gacha in January, with his special case rerun coming in the form of the second World Link support gacha for Wonderland Showtime. Each and every unit will have a World Link support gacha tied to their second World Link event. In these second World Link support gachas, the first set of World Link cards from the original World Link events will be available as rate-up cards. Due to this, the second World Link support gachas can be considered a rerun of the first set of World Link cards of sorts. But I'm marking these as special cases due to there not being any information if these World Link support gachas will keep rerunning and how the World Link sets are going to be handled if that's the case. So for now, if you like the Wonderland Showtime first World Link set, you can mark down early May as an option to pull for the first World Link set in a form of rerun. Milk from the editing desk here. As I was editing this video, the final World Link chapter went live, Wishes in Bloom. And with Wishes in Bloom came the event gacha in the form of the final chapter World Link support gacha. This gacha, due to how the Wishes in Bloom World Link event works, has every single World Link card from the first set of World Link events available once again, with all of the World Link cards being rated up in the gacha as well as being able to be exchanged from the exchange shop. Meaning that this is a second rerun for all of the first World Link cards available in one singular gacha. And this gacha will only be available between September 25th and September 30th during the event's duration. And since we have no idea how they will be handling World Link card reruns in the future, you should consider this your final opportunity to pull for the first year World Link cards as rate-up options from a standalone gacha. But I will only mention this gacha here during Rui's section. This partially due to this gacha coming out while I was already editing this video, meaning that it would require a ton of re-recording and re-editing to actually get this gacha into the final cut of the video, as well as not wanting to draw out the video even longer, seeing as the video is already massive and it will become very repetitive mentioning the exact same gacha with the exact same date every single time. But I would consider the final chapter World Link support gacha your final opportunity to pull for the first set of World Link cards in a standalone rate-up gacha form. So keep that in mind when you plan your crystals. As an additional note, because I almost forgot this and I don't want to mention this for every single character as well, all of the second year World Link cards will have their first rerun during the final chapter of the Virtual Singer World Link event. These gachas were only available for a single day and functions exactly like they did their first run. In order of appearance, we have Vivi Bad Squad between the 19th and the 20th of September, Wonderland Showtime between the 20th and the 21st of September, then it's Night Court at 25 between the 21st and the 22nd, followed by Leonid between the 22nd and the 23rd, and then it's More Jump between the 23rd and the 24th, and finally we have the Virtual Singers between the 24th and the 25th. So these are a second opportunity for you to pull from the second batch of World Link cards if you missed any card you wanted during their initial run throughout the year. And these gachas are obviously here to prepare for the Wishes in Bloom event and its really strict rule set. But that special rule set will have to wait until I make a second World Link event guide for the new World Link event sets. So for now, just know that the second World Link event cards will also be available in a very short first rerun just before Wishes Bloom goes live in September. And like I said, I won't mention this again, so just keep that in mind as we go forward with the video. But with that being said, Editor Milk will now let Original Milk take over once again. With that being said, we have rambled far long enough about the World Link reruns, so let's get into our second character in the gacha, Rin, and our card, Unfamiliar Version of Me.
思い出に触れさせてくれてありがとう.
Rin is of course a Bloom skilled card in the Pure attribute, with her untrained skill being called Their Feelings Towards Sekai Me, with untrained Virtual Singers granting a 70% score bonus for 5 seconds. And gain an additional 30% event bonus for each different unit type in the team, excluding the Bloom Festival card itself, as well as blank Virtual Singers. And this is a maximum cap of 2 different units, up to 130% score bonus for 5 seconds. And her trained skill is once again the exact same trained skill as Rui, but the skill name is Ordinary Yet Inseparable Memories, with Rin's new and exclusive costume being called Anarchronocism Dress. And due to Rin being a blank Virtual Singer, she will see use in 3 future events. The first event she will see use in is Power of Regret, that will run from the 20th of November to the 28th of November. In the gacha for this event is Emu, NENE, and Wonderland Showtime Len, making Rin higher gameplay value. This is then followed by the event Connect Heart Message, that will run from the 28th of February to the 8th of March. In the gacha for this event is Emu, Saki, and Leonid Rin, making Rin of course lower gameplay value as she is available through the gacha with a 70% bonus. The last event she will see use in is Start Rolling Star Crossing, that will run from the 23rd of July to the 29th of July. In the gacha for this event is Minori, Haruka and Shizuku, making Rin once again higher gameplay value as she's only ever available with a 50% bonus for this event. So Rin definitely has some great future usability, however she only has 1.5 upcoming new limited cards. Her standard limited card of course comes from an event we just mentioned, Connect Heart Message, once again running from the 28th of February to the 8th of March. And her semi-limited card of course coming from the second Virtual Singer World Link event, Link the Beats, that will run from the 6th of September to the 18th of September. And sadly she keeps this pattern up with only 1.5 upcoming reruns as well. Her standard rerun comes in the form of the final rerun of the Emotional Music March Gacha happening in March. And her special case of course coming in the form of the Virtual Singer's second World Link event support gacha that will be happening in early September. So while Rin has some great future usability, you don't have a lot of options when it comes to new and rerunning limited cards. That of course covers both of the Bloom Festival exclusive cards. Once October 4th rolls around, the Bloom Festival portion of the gacha will disappear and Rui and Rin will become unavailable until the next Bloom Festival rolls around. The gacha is then replaced with the limited event gacha Talent Blooms that will run from October 4th to October 12th. And this gacha abides by standard limited gacha rules, meaning 3% chance for a 4-star, no pity bar, and using the pink stickers and vouchers. And it's always worth remembering, while the Rui and Rin will stop being available through the gacha on October 4th, they will still be available through the exchange shop, with both the Bloom Festival and the Talent Bloom event gacha sharing the same pink stickers and vouchers. Meaning that if you missed the Rui or Rin during the Bloom Festival portion of the gacha, but you can gather enough crystals for a spark during the event gacha Talent Bloom, you can still spark both Rui and Rin through the exchange shop. Back on track though, there are 4 new cards being added, with the Talent Bloom gacha being considered the focus cards of the event, meaning they grant a 70% event bonus during event team building. All 4 of these cards are limited cards, meaning they come with an exclusive costume and hairstyle, as well as all 4 cards matching the event attribute being pure. So let's start with the focus character of the event, NENE, and her card, A Dream on a Melody.
私の歌で最高の形に
NENE is a perfect scorer skilled card with the skill name you can get used to anything, and perfect scorer skill cards will grant 110% score bonus for perfect taps only for 5 seconds at talent level 1, with NENE's new costume being called Dignified Brilliance. And due to her pure attribute, NENE will see use in one future event, being Power of Regret, that will run from the 20th of November to the 28th of November. In the gacha for this event is once again Emu, NENE, and Wonderland Showtime Len, meaning of course that the 4th anniversary NENE is of lower gameplay value, as she is available through the gacha with a 70% bonus for the event. And as for new limited cards, NENE has 1 standard limited card and 2 special cases. The standard limited card has a NENE joining Rui in the event Deeper and Deeper that will run from July 7th to July 13th. The more straightforward out of the 2 special cases for NENE is of course her semi-limited card from the second World Link event for Wonderland Showtime, Dear My Fellows, once again running from May 9th to May 21st. With the final limited card for NENE being a very special case, coming from the currently running Tamagotchi collaboration event. On the Japanese server, this collaboration gacha will be available between September 19th and October 5th. However, as always with collaboration gachas, we have no idea if this collaboration will make its way over to the English server at all. So far on the global server, we have a very good track record, as Akuno Tensei Sanrio and Ensemble Stars collaboration have all made it over to us. But as always, it is not a certainty that a collaboration will make its way over to the global server, as Sega and Tamagotchi have to agree that they want to bring over the collaboration to us. And even if the collaboration makes its way over to the global server, there is a massive possibility that the dates we have on the Japanese server will not match the dates they pick for the English server. Seeing as the Ensemble Stars collaboration and the Sanrio collaboration both had way different dates than their Japanese counterpart. So as always, a massive pinch of salt, as we have no confirmation that we will be getting the Tamagotchi collaboration on the global server. But if you really love the Tamagotchi collaboration, you should still save your crystals sparingly and keep your eyes peeled for further announcements about the collaboration on the global server. But leaving the collaboration speculation as well as the new limited cards for NENE, we can look towards her reruns instead. And NENE has 2.5 upcoming rerunning gachas. The first limited gacha we will encounter for NENE is the Your Ticket to the City of Splendors gacha, having its first rerun in December, with its second rerun already confirmed for August 2026. This is then followed by the first rerun of the In My Fairy Tale gacha in June, with no second rerun of course yet confirmed. And the special case rerunning gacha for NENE is of course the second World Link support gacha for Wonderland Showtime, available in early May. And this leads us into our second character in the gacha, SHIHO, and our card Not Used to Makeup.
メイクされるのって落ち着かないな。
SHIHO is a perfect locker skill card with the skill name, so they really enjoy it, and perfect locker skill cards will make all bad and higher taps into perfect for 5.5 seconds, as well as grant a 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1, with SHIHO's new limited costume being called Ardent Brilliance. And SHIHO will see use in one future event due to her pure attribute. The event in question is Connect Heart Message, once again running from February 28th to March 8th. And we've already mentioned it before, but in the gacha is Emu, Saki, and Leonid Rin, making SHIHO of course higher gameplay value, as she's only ever available with a 50% bonus for this event. And SHIHO, just like NENE, has one standard new limited card as well as 2 special cases. With SHIHO's standard limited card coming from the event Find the Dream View, also known as the 4.5 anniversary, running from March 30th to April 6th. Obviously, she also shows up in the Leonid second World Link event, Ordinary Yet Special Us, that will run from the 23rd of June to the 5th of July. And finally, she actually joins NENE in the Tamagotchi collaboration, once again available between September 19th and October 5th on the Japanese server. But like we already discussed, this date is a massive asterisk for the global players. And SHIHO has 2.5 upcoming reruns as well. The first gacha we will encounter with SHIHO in it is the final rerun of the Fluttering Maidens gacha, happening in November. This is then followed by the first rerun of the New Year's Enchanting Bloom Bright gacha, happening in January, with its second rerun already confirmed for July 2026. With our special case rerun being the Leonid second World Link support gacha, happening in late June. This leads us into our third character in the gacha, AIRI, and our card A Song of Courage.
大丈夫。勇気を出して。
AIRI is a perfect scorer skill card with the skill name Feelings About Costumes, and perfect scorer skill cards will grant 110% score bonus for perfect taps only for 5 seconds, with AIRI's new costume being called Captivating Brilliance. And AIRI is the last character in the gacha that has any future usability due to her pure attribute. AIRI will see use during the event Start Rolling Star Crossing that will run from the 23rd of July to the 29th of July. And once again in the gacha is Minori, Shizuku and Haruka, meaning that AIRI is of higher gameplay value as she's only ever available with a 50% bonus for this event. And as for new limited cards, AIRI has 1.5 upcoming ones. Her only standard limited card comes from the event Unfading Wishing and is the card to break her limited card curse. This card will be available between the 31st of December and the 9th of January, which is then of course followed by her semi-limited card from the More Jump World Link event Always Jump With You that will run from the 8th of August to the 20th of August. And while she doesn't have a lot of new limited cards, AIRI has 4.5 upcoming reruns instead. The first gacha we will encounter AIRI in is the final rerun of the Fly to the Futures gacha in October. This is then followed by As Autumn Dusk Wanes first rerun in November, with its second rerun already confirmed for June. Thereafter she will show up in the final rerun of the Welcome to Diner gacha in April, with her final standard limited gacha she shows up in being Delivered to You live streaming that will have its first rerun in August 2026 with no second rerun yet confirmed. With her special case rerun of course being the More Jump second World Link support gacha happening in early August. Which only leaves us with our final character in the gacha, TOYA and his card After School Assistance.
俺でも丁寧に作られているとわかる。
TOYA is a healer skilled card with the skill name Shared Understanding, and healer skill cards will recover 350 life and grant an 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1, with TOYA's new limited costume being called Express Brilliance. And as it currently stands, TOYA has no future usability. However, he has 2.5 upcoming limited new cards. The first one will come from the event Aim Higher and Higher that will run from the 31st of May to the 7th of June. This is then followed by the event Competitive Fire that will run from the 31st of July to the 6th of August, with the semi-limited card coming from the Vivi Band Squad second World Link event Turning Pain into Drive that will run from the 8th of April to the 20th of April, with TOYA only having 1.5 upcoming new limited reruns. The only standard limited gacha TOYA will show up in is the first rerun of the Eternal Bouts gacha in May, with no second rerun yet confirmed, with the special case rerun of course being the second World Link support gacha for Vivi Bad Squad happening in early April. And that covers all of the cards added with the 4th anniversary Bloom Festival as well as the Talent Blooms event gacha. That was quite a bit of information due to the World Link rerun situation as well as the Tamagotchi collaboration event. But many of the characters have some really great upcoming new limited cards and even rerunning gachas that you could look forward to. And of course, the future usability of this gacha isn't half bad, especially considering what I know about the event team building of this event. But with that being said, let's get straight into said event team building. And seeing as the event focus cast does not have any virtual singer, we do not have to consider unit stipulations or the changes made to blank virtual singers with the Bloom Festival update in June. So instead we can get straight into the asterisks for the 2-star and 3-star cards. And this time around we have 3 asterisks that needs to be mentioned. Obviously, the 2-star SHIHO from the last event, This Moment With You, has not yet entered the standard gacha pool. Meaning that if you did not play during the last event or you did not pick up the 2-star SHIHO, you have no way of having this specific card. And of course, the 2-star AIRI and the 2-star NENE comes from the Let's Enjoy the Movie campaign. These 2 cards of course require you to have gotten one of the promo codes from the Project Sekai movie by going to the cinema. So if you're in a country that did not get the movie, or you just did not go see it in the cinema, you have no way of having these 2 additional 2-star cards as well. But those are our only asterisks for the 2-star and 3-star cards, so instead we can get into the 4-star selection. And this time around we have 16 available cards with only a single event bringing more than 1 card. The event in question is What's on Your Mind? Exciting Picnic that was a permanent event bringing both an NENE and an AIRI. Outside of this though, the remaining 14 cards comes from spread events. And out of these 14 cards, 4 are limited. The limited cards in order of release, we first have the SHIHO from the event Don't Lose Faith, which was then followed by the event Beyond the Dreamer of that day that brought an AIRI. After this we got the NENE from the Picture Perfect event, and capping off the limited cards is the AIRI from the Sanrio collaboration event. As for the remaining 10 permanent cards, in order of release we first saw the NENE from the Sekai Happy New Year's event. This was then followed by the TOYA from the event Doll Festivals at the Tenmas. This was then followed by a NENE from the event Mermaid Admiration, and after that we saw a TOYA from the event Same Dream, Same Colors. With SHIHO's first permanent card coming from the event That Day The Sky Was Far Away. This was then followed by the NENE from the event Immiscible Discord, the NENE from the event The Song of a Canary in Crisis, the TOYA from the event On Your Feet, with the 2 final cards coming in the form of the SHIHO from the event Stick to Your Faith and the NENE from the event Knowing the Unseen. Those are all the 4 stars available during the event team building, but we also have 3 birthday cards as an additional bonus. This in the form of the first year AIRI and NENE, as well as the third year NENE. And this is our final event team building roster for the event here on our dream stage. And this event team building is actually quite bad. It's not too unusual for NENE to be a problem when it comes to event team building. I mean, just take a glance at how her mysterious 4-star selection looks even 4 years into the game. And with 3 cards available, 1 of which are limited, 1 of which is a semi-recent permanent card. It's getting quite old now, but it certainly isn't our oldest card, and then 1 old permanent card, her selection is very narrow. The same can also be said for SHIHO, who also only have 3 available cards, where 1 is limited, 1 is a very recent 4-star card, and the last one is a middle of the pack permanent old card. It makes it very hard to have either a NENE or a SHIHO if you aren't a massive Wonderland Showtime or Leonid fan, as both of SHIHO's permanent cards comes from Leonid unit focused events. And both of NENE's cards comes from Wonderland Showtime unit-focused events. And this is not to mention the biggest elephant in the room, being AIRI. 3 available cards, 2 of which are limited, and 1 of them being from a unit-focused limited event makes her selection very, very narrow. Especially considering her only permanent card comes from a random mixed event from first year. Obviously, this means that there is a bigger chance you might have snagged that permanent card during an off-banner pull, but there's no guarantee, and that's a single card among thousands in the game now. The only thing I have a little bit of leniency for is that her collaboration limited comes from Sanrio, which is a very popular limited event. However, this still means that there's only 1 permanent card available for most of the player base, which is just foul, to be honest. Even TOYA and NENE, who are stronger selections, still don't have a really great selection of cards when it comes down to it. This event team building is really difficult if you don't have a uber specific selection of cards that you've gotten from off-banner pulls, or you've liked very, very specific events from all 5 of the units. And this event team building selection actually makes the event gacha more valuable when you look at how few options these characters have. It means that it will be much easier to fill these characters' event slots for their future usability events, as well as events that we haven't seen yet, such as mixed pure events that might have something like AIRI, SHIHO or NENE in them. But I'm not really here to tell you if you should or shouldn't pull from the Talent Bloom event gacha. I just personally think that due to the selection available for the event team building, that the event gacha for Here on Our Dream stage is much higher gameplay value to actually be able to fill the entire team with 50 to 70% event bonus. Since I think that this event team building is extremely weak. But I just hope that most people can get together a team with a 250% event bonus if they're early to mid game players, and that the late game players can at least make a team with a 280 to 290% event bonus. So once the event ends, we will see an afterlive. The afterlive this time around will run from October 9th to October 10th, and participating during the allotted time period will grant you 300 crystals and a stamp. The stamp this time around of a NENE called With My Singing. And since this is a mixed event, there isn't a regular commission song. However, the anniversary has its own commission song called Hot Wind or Neppu in Japanese. This song will release with a Sekai version as well as a virtual singer version and 5 alternative vocals, one for each one of the unit leaders. The song will release on September 30th and will be granted to you through your in-game mailbox. So make sure to check the alt cover shop on September 30th if you're a massive fan of any of the unit leaders, so you don't miss out on their alt vocals. But with that, we have covered everything you needed to know about the event here on our dream stage, also known as the 4th anniversary. It is always exciting when we get to one of the major anniversaries for Project Sekai. There's always a ton of stuff happening, new people joining, and the events are usually very grandiose. I know a ton of people are very excited for Here on Our Dream stage, but personally this is my least favorite out of all of the anniversary events. That is a very personal opinion though, as I think the craftsmanship of the card art, both untrained and trained, as well as the costume is really great. I just don't personally jive with the theme of this anniversary. That being said, I'm still super excited for the anniversary itself and the event that will be coming with it. And while I'm more so dreading the Fortune Flower Parade, it will be exciting to get another stamp campaign to have some goals to work towards while playing Project Sekai. On top of this, if you're someone who has friends who have not yet started playing Project Sekai, the 4th anniversary is an ample time to get them into the game. So while this is not my favorite anniversary set per se, I am still very excited about what's upcoming for the game and to get into the 4th year. But with that, I wanna hear what you guys think of the event. What's your event team building like? Are you going to pull, or are you going to skip this event, or are you maybe pulling from some of the paid gachas? I always love to read your comments, even if I've gotten a lot worse at reading all of them. I do try to read as many as possible. While you're down there typing away your comment, I once again want to request that you subscribe, ring the bell, and maybe even leave a like and share this video with a friend, as all of these things help the algorithm immensely in getting me to grow even bigger. And of course, I want to extend a special thank you to all of my Patreons for continuously supporting me, and an especially warm thank you to all of my append players. These being Bambi, Gabby C, Helen P, 001 Star, Katie, Mia Marie 21, Opal Siren, Petterish, Shino Empire, Shoop, and Veritas Uwu. As always, I cannot thank you guys enough for continuously supporting me for almost a year at this point. And if you wanna join them in supporting me that little bit extra for as little as $1, a link to my Patreon will exist down in the description. But with that, we have covered everything you needed to know, and I should not be rambling on much longer. Happy 4th anniversary of Project Sekai, and I hope that the next year will be great. Let's get out of here for the week.